people have an expectation when they're coming to the Wizard of Oz, because we've all seen the movie so many times and we all love the movie. They have an expectation of what they're going to see on stage, but we want to celebrate the idea that this is live theater. So we're trying to stick with ideas that are similar to the movie, a lot of silhouettes that are similar to the movies, but we're deviating on textures and colors a little bit. So hopefully it will have our own unique twist to it without being too far off base.
This show has a lot of special effects, and they're not easy ones. I mean, we got to melt a witch. She has to shoot fire out of her broomstick. The whole wizard's chamber, all that has challenges and things like that.
All good directors, or actually all directors, have some dream plays on their bucket list, and this one had jumped onto mine several years ago. And I'm of the age that I remember the specialness of sitting at home, and it's Wizard of Oz on television. And I can recall the excitement when she goes and opens up that door and the world turned color. And that's a magical transformation that, you know, is still to my bones, and so I'm still looking forward to doing my own interpretation of that. We need a sign here that says "Future Home of Wizard of Oz," so people.
Clever.
This one is just kind of an organizational nightmare because there are so many characters and so many different costumes, and then finding things that we're happy with. You know, because we can't build it all, we're having to rent some of it, and not everybody, you know, there are different expectations of what's acceptable as a Tin Man and what's acceptable as a Scarecrow and what's acceptable as a lion. And there are lots of lions out there for rent, but are they the one that we want? Not necessarily. So we're actually going to build the lion. I'm trying to secure somebody to build the Tin Man, just for sheer time. Since we don't have the time to do it, and I have not found anybody out there yet that has a set of monkeys that we can rent, or so we're building you know, a lot of these sets we just don't have. What we ended up renting was the Emerald City stuff, because we can walk into a rental place and say, I need everything that's green, and they'll have me everything they have, and you mishmash it together. We're going with kind of a classic storybook or classic fairy tale look for that, where it has a feel of it being stuff from the past, but not necessarily where you can say, oh, that's the Renaissance, oh, that's Elizabethan, oh, that's Victorian. But as a kid, you would go, oh, that's old. None of them are done. Even the ones we tried on the other night are not done because they've got alterations to do or whatever. So, I mean, I've cut out several costumes at this point, and this afternoon I cut out 12 coats for monkeys, but I still got to cut facings, and I got to cut trim and stuff like that, and then they actually have to be put together.
Because everybody is so familiar with the movie, and as a theater, we can't do the movie. At one point it was discussed, well, we could project the tornado, we could project this, and we could project that, and I was like, if we're gonna project, just put down the screen and show the film. Why, you know, we're doing theater, which means we're going to do it theatrically. And our goal is to make sure that you aren't thrown horribly challenged by something different from the movie, but we do and look forward to you sitting there saying, you know, that's a wonderful interpretation of how they did that. And an example is their tornado. And once again, I wait till opening night, but it's going to be a special theatrical moment. And that's going to be the ones that we truly turn to the theater and do what theater does best, as opposed to trying to recreate film on stage.